Welcome to the Yellow Spider Media Business Spotlight podcast, a chance for business owners to discuss what they do and what makes them special. Today's guest is Lenny Davies, Non-Executive Director of Give Today charity. Hi Lenny, welcome to the Yellow Spider Media Business Spotlight podcast. Now, we've worked together previously on a number of websites and marketing projects, but today you're going to talk about the charity work you're doing for Give Today. So do you want to give us some details?
Yeah, basically it's a CIC company. We work with over 50 charities across the UK. And I mean, a lot of people do donate to charities, which is great. A lot of people do CSR through business and so on, which is fantastic. But a lot of the time, charities get items that potentially they might not necessarily need, or they've got them in an abundance, and it's a case of they're just sitting there sort of potentially doing nothing for a while. So we've sort of reached out to the charities in a way of, right, okay, tell us what you need. They give us a list which changes from month to month, as you can imagine. So it's a case of then promoting them particular items on the website for people to then go on and donate, whether it's an individual or as a corporate. And then that basically gets sent straight to the charity. Wherever people donate, it stays local. And it's right to the heart of what the charities need, and then obviously to the individuals.
So it's very specific, almost like an Amazon wish list. The company.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah, it's pretty much similar to that. So, I think a lot of people tend to think, when you speak about homeless, it's always good to, to purchase like clothing, sleeping bags, stuff like that. But you've also got your personal hygiene items as well, for male and female. And even down to like colouring books and and pencils and stuff like that, and word search books, which can be quite popular, obviously, to help pass the time away, I guess.
So not only does the system avoid duplicates and storage issues, but it makes sure that all bases are covered as well. Now, you mentioned the homeless there and Manchester in particular, and I know that the charity covers other areas and is nationwide, but homelessness is clearly something that's close to your heart, isn't it?
I know we've mentioned homelessness, but it's not just homelessness. We also cover sort of animal rescue charities as well. So there's also items on the website that you can purchase for pets. And we also work with sort of elderly charities, so people, for instance, living in isolation, stuff like that. So it's right across the board, really. It's not just homeless charities, but you can end up on the street quite quickly if you've got no network, through the loss of a job, or it could be an illness or something like that. And if you've got, or even down to a marriage breakup, and if you've got no support network, things can spiral quickly out of control. I mean, it's said that everyone is potentially only 2 months away from being on the street if everything comes falling down. Like I said, anyone can be in that situation. So it's a scary thought. I think homelessness needs to be treated as an epidemic, and it's been there for a long time, and it's going to be there for a long time in the future as well. And really in 2021, should we be seeing people in this predicament? No, I don't think we should.
Absolutely not. I was amazed when I worked in Manchester for a couple of years. The number of homeless people that you walk past, on the way to the office every day was just astonishing. Going back to the specifics and the list that the charities give you, why do you think that's preferable to donate £10, £20, whatever it is?
I mean, it's basically then, because people are seeing, it's like going online and purchasing something for yourself, for instance. So people are actually seeing what they're purchasing, and they know from the wish list that it's basically what's needed at that time, pinpointing what charities need. Because sometimes if you donate money, you don't know what your money's going to potentially. So by doing it this way, you're purchasing things that the charity have requested themselves, and going to where it's meant to be.
And it also means that 100% of the donation or the purchase is going directly to the charity or the individual, doesn't it?
Yeah, we take nothing from that. There's no commission or anything like that. It's 100% to the charity, for the goods that go to the charity. And it's also free delivery as well for any items purchased, whether it's a small thing or multiple things. no hidden costs or anything like that. So yeah.
Good stuff. And I mean, it's quite a modern way of making a donation, isn't it? And there's clearly been some technological advances in other sorts of charitable giving. I remember a couple of years ago, homeless people had, was it QR code or a barcode on like a little lanyard? So
Yeah.
obviously there's some new idea, innovative ideas out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It makes it easier as well because, for instance, if you've got contactless, I mean, the old traditional way people would stand there maybe with a money box collecting for a homeless charity or any other particular charity. But I think the contactless scenario is much better because you've got a range of options. Because I mean, we are moving towards a cashless society more than ever, and so people a lot of people don't carry as much spare change around with them, and I know I very rarely do. So with the contactless, for instance, if people are using contactless terminals for donating, you can also get the charity or the person, sorry, a range from whether £2, £3, or £5, for instance. So it's a great initiative and a great way of sort of raising money for the charities, and it puts potentially the user who's donating in control because they can determine how much they want to give, and more often than not, it can be a bit more than what it would be if it was loose change.
How do you think the last 12 months has made a difference to charitable giving? Because we have seen perhaps an increase in community spirit and people coming together to help each other out. But at the same time, charity shops have been closed and, people have found themselves in unfortunate circumstances, haven't they?
I think there's a bit of a mixture. Yeah, I totally agree with, it's all coming together, which has been nice, really. It's been quite refreshing. I suppose that's a positive that's come out of the COVID. But I think charities as a whole have lost. I mean, a lot of them have reported a reduction in donations and stuff. And I think Age UK have pretty much closed all branches to a degree in the way their offices. So I guess there's a money saving cost there for them in the way of rents for premises and so on. But as far as people donating, I think that I mean, I can't give you any figures, but I think there's probably potentially a drop. But at the same time, people still are, willing to donate.
Yeah, well, some people that are perhaps on lower incomes or might have even lost their jobs. So that's going to have a knock-on effect, isn't it? Not just in terms of their ability to donate items, but on the flip side, they might now be the people that need these things donating to them. I mean, if you think about food banks, we shouldn't, as a nation and as a species, be relying on food banks in 2021.
No, I mean, like you say, we shouldn't need to rely on a charity to get food, which is a basic necessity for every person, family up and down the country. And it's reported there's 8.45 million people across the UK who are struggling to put food on the table. And obviously we're coming up to Easter holidays, and you've got the free schools register, free school meals. You've got people in that 2 weeks, families struggling to put food on the table.
Just as an aside, what do you think of Marcus Rashford's efforts in getting those processes up and running?
I think what he's done. Obviously, he's been there. He knows firsthand. It's great that obviously he's championed that, and long may it continue. He's doing, he's opened a lot of doors, raised the awareness unbelievably. Yeah, he's done an amazing job.
Absolutely, and I guess all we can hope in terms of people having reduced incomes and not donating as much as they could beforehand, all we can do is hope that once things get back to normal, then that'll pick up again.
Yeah, that's right.
So as a charity itself, you obviously want to get the word out there about what you're doing as much as possible. So does social media and digital marketing come into that? Are you active on there?
We're looking to get out there, social media and other ways of marketing to get the message across. But ideally, because we are not making any money at the moment, and we're looking for sort of corporates potentially with CSR to come on board and provide some support, and help maybe with a marketing budget as well.
Okay, so at the moment, marketing-wise, it's very much in its infancy, but you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter as Give Today. You've also got the website, so if anybody wants to get in touch, they can find you on there, can't they?
You can see it on LinkedIn and sort of Twitter and Facebook. So yes, you just look for Give Today. It's early stages with what we've done. Launched a new website, Give Today, over the last month. Prior to that, it was on our sort of overriding company, Hope Revolution. Just sort of taking a step to move it across to Give Today, and that's all literally about giving and donating and so on.
The website is givetoday.co.uk, where you can go and purchase specific items that have been requested by charities across the UK. And charities themselves, if you want to be included, please get in touch with Lenny. Have a look on the website for the details. That's givetoday.co.uk. Lenny, thanks for coming on today. It's a great charity, and long may the work that you're doing continue as long as it's needed.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, and it's hopefully we can do another one in the coming months.
Thanks for listening to the Yellow Spider Media Business Spotlight podcast. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please get in touch at www.yellowspidermedia.com.